And we are live again with my 15-minute snappy chat. And I'm so excited. I'm Christine Bell, by the way. I'm a customer strategist, but we're not going to be talking about me today. I'm super excited about my snappy learn and grow chats because personally, I always learn so much from everyone I have on as a guest. So hopefully everyone else who joins in as well gets a lot out of it. But if nothing else, I get a lot out of it. I'm super excited for these learn and grow conversations because what I found in my own business in the last 8 years is this. It can get really, really lonely, especially if you're a one-man band or only a couple of people. It gets quite lonely in business. And the truth is, there are a lot of challenges in business. And I have rarely heard of anyone who doesn't go through some significant challenges that will test them to the core in terms of staying in business. And for this reason, what I found, especially on LinkedIn as well in the last year and a half, is if we create a network of people, like-minded people that we trust, that we like, that we get on with. And I don't mean as clients per se, I mean as people that we actually become, working partners with or friendship with or just connect with, because we can learn so much from each other. And it makes it a lot easier when we're going through challenging periods in our business, when we have someone else to chat to, have a conversation with, realize that, hey, you know what, we all go through some of this stuff. And I must say, LinkedIn of all places has been the place where I found so many new friends in the last year and a half. I did not go onto LinkedIn assuming this was going to happen, but it did happen. And I have to say, once you start finding your tribe on LinkedIn, the ones you really resonate with, and you start connecting behind the scenes off LinkedIn, off social media, you can build some amazing relationships. And one of them that I've built in the last half year, I think, is my relationship with Carmel. Carmel is in New Zealand and I'm in Sydney, and yet we've been able to have great conversations and lean on each other and learn from each other and realize we're not in it alone, which makes for a huge difference. So with this in mind, I'm so excited that Carmel, you've agreed to join me today. Carmel is amazing in terms of helping people actually get over their nerves, get over the fear of showing up, whether it's in networking or at work, and being their true self and expressing themselves and being able to connect with others as well. So she's the creator of the Confidence Code. And she's an amazing lady. And I'm going to hand over to you now, Carmel, to tell us a little bit more about yourself. And thank you so much for being on here this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. And hello, everyone. Firstly, I just wanted to tap into your conversation, your starter about LinkedIn. As someone who doesn't particularly enjoy social media, I can't speak highly enough about LinkedIn. I've been a member for 12 years, but only really got active in the last 20 months or so. And in that time, I've met the most amazing people, including yourself, Christine. My network has gone international. I've just created and developed and cultivated some really good relationships. And the thing that sort of trips me up often is I will meet someone in person kind of 9 months, 12 months after I've created this conversation online, and just have to do a double take because I realize actually I've never met this person in person before, because it just feels so natural. The conversation flows because we've developed that relationship online first. And so that's what I absolutely love about LinkedIn, is it feels like when you do meet them in person that you're having a chat with a good friend. It doesn't feel awkward or uneasy in any way. And so, yeah, I can't speak highly enough about LinkedIn and what it's done for my life.
It's so true, isn't it? LinkedIn it's quite amazing how, and I guess the lockdowns might have helped with this, but the fact that we're pushed online, yeah. But building relationships with others online, I've never quite tried it like this before. And LinkedIn especially is an amazing place to meet like-minded people in business, in terms of people we connect with. So I totally agree with you. So thank you for sharing that too.
So in terms of me, as you mentioned, Christine, I am the founder and creator of the Confidence Code. And that's a 3-step coaching system that helps people nail networking, leverage LinkedIn, and present powerfully so that they can grow their confidence and enjoy being in any room. Total far cry from where I was 10 years ago, because I couldn't say boo to a mouse, let alone a goose. I was in a back office job. I avoided eye contact. I avoided as many people as I could, My social network was about 10 people total. I grew up in a small town of 650, and nearly a third of the town was my family, large Irish Catholic Māori family. So I didn't need to make friends. I had all these cousins, relatives that I saw all the time, that I didn't need to make friends. And that was the same at primary school. 48 kids total in the school, and a lot of them with my cousins. So when it came to moving into an experience or an option where I had to meet new people, it was terrifying. I regularly felt out of place, awkward, shy, fearful of everyone. And 10 years ago, I couldn't meet anyone for a coffee. I would have panic attack. I would shake, quiver, sweat, freeze on the spot, on occasion black out just going to meet someone for a coffee, let alone turn up to an event. And now I do public speaking, which just blows me away.
And can I just say, you are on live LinkedIn right now, and I've only known you for 6 months, and I would not have guessed that about you at all. So thank you so much for sharing your story, because I think there's a lot of people who can relate. And I know you're not finished, so I'll let you come back to you now.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to share this one sort of key thing, and that's when I was sent to go to high school in the city, so here in Auckland. So it was a massive, massive change, because I went from, as I said, 48 kids total to a school of 1,000.
Wow.
So my whole world fell apart, basically. For the first 6 months, the teachers thought I had a comprehension problem because I couldn't and didn't engage in class. And it turns out that I was just absolutely petrified. I spent the next 5 years of classes sitting in complete panic, fight or flight mode, on the off chance that the teacher would ask me a question, and 30 sets of eyes would settle on me. And that just continued through university. It continued through into working life. I would try and blend into the background. And it was only really when I hit this mental wall and breaking point, the realization that I actually wanted to change, that I did something about it. And so I suppose the key thing there is that the want to change actually outweighed my comfort of staying put. And so I went on this 2-year journey to teach myself how to network before and after work. And I wrote myself a manual along the way. That manual basically was every mistake I made under the sun. And that formed the very first workshops that I now run. And so, yeah, it's been a complete journey. The best backhanded compliment I've had is that now I've heard your personal story, I'm nowhere near as bad as you were, so you can help me. And so my story is pretty extreme, but that's why I love helping people show up, be seen, and thrive using the confidence code. And a whole new world opened up to me. And as you can probably tell, I love networking, I love connecting, and I'm all about building strong communities.
Wow, what a story. Thank you so much for sharing. And even if people don't have exactly the same experience, I believe there's a lot of people out there, and including myself a little bit, not quite the same way, in terms of showing up and meeting new people, especially when we build a business. Yeah, that's a huge challenge, because we have to network, we have to meet clients, we have to sell ourselves. It's part of it. So what a massive journey you've been on, and wow, where you are now. Amazing. Yeah. So what a huge challenge.
It's life-changing and transformational, and that's what I want to help others do too.
Totally. Wow, what amazing. And who better to do it? And what a huge challenge. I was going to ask you about another challenge in business, but I think you just shared your biggest challenge yourself. Is there any other challenge as well you want to share with people that they can learn and grow from in terms of their business, besides what you've already shared, which I think is a huge one?
Yeah. Well, we all have, there's lots of challenges I could talk about in business, but one I think that most people have to juggle is family and work life. And for me, it's about, I'm a full-time solo mum to a 4-year-old, and all my family live 4 hours away. So I can't call on them when he gets sick. And my business is severely impacted when he does get sick. For other people, it may not be children. It may be looking after a family member who's got an ongoing illness. or looking after your elderly parents as well. So we're constantly juggling that kind of thing. And it really came to a head for me 5 months ago because I was coaching one-to-one online at the time, even though I love coaching in person. But again, we adjusted through the last couple of years to online. And so, yeah, I was coaching online. I had up to 10 clients a week, 2 a day.
Yeah.
And my son was home for a week sick. And I couldn't find a babysitter. And so I just had to cancel all those sessions. And by the time I went to reschedule them, they were due for their next session. So basically, I missed out on all that income.
Yeah.
And I was online, obviously, for about up to 10 hours with the clients and then working on the stuff with those clients afterwards.
Yeah.
So what I had to do was really change and adapt to the circumstances. I knew that I couldn't survive in this kind of business model because if we ever went into lockdown again or something else happened and we were stuck at home, I needed to be able to work it that it worked for me.
Yeah.
And so that's when I changed to a group coaching program format instead. So it means that I'm online for 1 hour each week with those 10 clients rather than 10 hours with them. And it means that if I need to find a babysitter, I'm looking for one that's only for 1 hour rather than all that time. And that's just been a game changer for me. And what the key lesson there is that I've found that imperfect moments, or in my case, forcing me to make a change, actually turned into a golden opportunity for me.
And I think there's more than just a big opportunity there in terms of group coaching. Once we have a big enough tribe, so we can find enough people who wants to participate in a group session at the time that suits everyone. I think that is amazing, and it's a game changer in terms of also how much the money we can make in terms of less time one-on-one versus having a group coaching session where people also actually interact with each other, hopefully, and get something out of each other, not just from you, but from actually working with each other and seeing that they're not alone. Yeah. Especially in the area that you work in, we can often feel, I imagine, quite alone. So it's really important that we feel we're not alone, that we understood, that we're, everyone, there's other people also working on the same stuff that we are. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the cool thing is with that 1 hour, I mean, I really want you to be there in person, but if you can't, there's the option to watch the recording. And also the way that I've set up the call is that half an hour of the call is the learning module and half an hour is the sharing, the learning, the reviewing. And that's when the most transformation comes out, and people light up because they realize they're not alone in their situation, as you said, and they can share, and it's a supportive environment, and they can continue that community even after the call because we have a private community that they can share in as well.
Yeah.
So it works for everybody.
Yeah. And I think the big learning here and growth opportunity for also is it's not necessarily that we have to go to group coaching. It's just that if we have to look at our own situation, our own lifestyle, what would work best for us. So it works for us because, like you said, it's not sustainable if it doesn't actually work for us and we suddenly have to cancel a whole lot of clients because no one is happy about that, including ourselves and our clients. So I think the big learning here is, how can we think out of the box sometimes to make our business work around us and our, needs and wants and situation, yeah? And we have to be a little bit creative there.
Yeah. So changing and adapting to our circumstances and, as you say, make it work for you.
Yeah. And so in terms of thinking of new ways, do you have any special ways that you thought of did you just think, oh, it should be group, or did you have different options in terms of I could do it this way, I could do it that way, and then making a decision? How did your creative process work, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it was a very short process. In the space of 3 weeks, I wrote the framework for the 12-week coaching course, coaching program. And very cheeky, I didn't really need to advertise in the sense that I just put it out on a LinkedIn post, and who loves LinkedIn? And all the people came in and they helped me out. And it was a great way for me to test the program because obviously I'd never done it before. A whole new wave of fear for me in terms of getting on live every week for an hour. It wasn't
Yeah.
something that I was used to. I mean, doing a one-to-one coaching session is fine, but with a bigger group.
Yeah.
So that was a new little pet project for me. So I just went, and the interesting thing was trying to create content. I'm a big planner, so I wanted all the content written before I started, but I actually just started with week to week. I created content as I went along so that I could
Wow.
adapt it and change it. So again, huge change for me, very, very different way of doing it. But by about week 5, week 6, I was actually enjoying being live and loved being in the room with them. And I got excited, they got excited, and the testimonials afterwards just speak to how powerful it was for them in terms of their transformation. So I'm absolutely stoked. And now from creating that, I'm now creating the online course as well, so that it's a self-paced version of what we've done.
Wonderful. And we're running out of time now. We're over 15 minutes, 16 minutes now. So we're going to finish up shortly. But I want to say this is huge in terms of changing from a fixed mindset into I need to do things my way, the way I've already done it, that I feel safe, into what's really required of us, I believe, in business, which is what most people, the big challenge most of us go through, is that moment where we go, I got to step out of my comfort zone. And that can look different ways. For you, it was changing your program. For me, it was coming on and doing videos on LinkedIn. I was so nervous when I started them out, doing my videos on LinkedIn, but I got over that. I kept practicing. I kept putting myself out there. I kept going over, oh my God, what are people going to think? The same with doing these live Snappy Chat. I thought I'd never done a live Snappy Chat before in January. I thought, I'm just going to try it out. And it was just like let's learn and adapt on the way, accept that we're going to make mistakes, accept that we might look a little bit silly sometime, and trust that there are people out there that will resonate with what we do and that will be able to bring those in. And I love that you obviously, with what you offer, there's a lot of people on LinkedIn, I believe, that can resonate with your story. And therefore that was you're offering something that there was a real need for. And sometimes people say, oh, I'm not making any money on LinkedIn. It takes time. 2, you need to build up a tribe of people who really appreciate, love, like you, know you, trust you. And 3, you got to have something that is really, really relevant to them. So I believe you have it all, Carmel. And I love chatting to you today. And I wish we could talk for longer, but we are going to finish up now because we're at 17 minutes. So please tell me, so thank you so much, but please tell me a little bit about how people can reach you. Do you have any events coming up, anything? And please also put it in the comments on my profile afterwards so people can find it.
Okay. Yes. So the best way to reach me, as I say, I do have other social media, but LinkedIn is the best place to find me. So it's Carmel Murphy, the confidence code. And at the top of my profile, I would love for you to connect with me, obviously, because we can share war stories, if nothing else. But also at the top of my profile, there's an option to book a 30-minute free call with me, and we can have a no obligation chat. And as I say, share war stories if we need to. In terms of programs and things, I'm in the middle of one at the moment, so I have finished for the year, but there's also the website option to see what's coming up starting from February, which is carmelmurphy.co.nz.
Love it. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your real story and how you have grown so much from childhood through to who you are now, showing up on LinkedIn, always looking amazing, never afraid to put yourself out there, always looking unique and standing out. So huge transformation. And if you can do it, we can all do it. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
And thank you so much for having me, Christine. I really enjoyed it and can't believe that the 15 minutes is gone.
It goes so fast. I promise you, it goes so fast. So thank you so much, everyone.